Day 8 as a chef on a yacht. Started off my morning with a big yawn and a cup of coffee. Checked on my produce, the bananas were going bad, so I froze them, and my pears were looking rough. Cut off the bad parts and used the good parts for a pear cobbler. The guests are off sugar, so I'm sweetening this up with some artificial brown sugar, and tossing in some flour to thicken this up. For the topping, I melted some butter, threw in some oatmeal, cinnamon, and more brown sugar. Threw that on top of the pears and into the oven. For breakfast, I had a bagel with cream cheese, bacon, and a fried egg. While I waited for the cobbler to bake, I made a creamy. Threw in a protein shake with some white chocolate pudding. Into the freezer for 24 hours. Pear cobbler's done, and apparently I was in the wrong uniform, so I changed. On to crew lunch. I seasoned up brownie, which is the whole cow we have on board. Threw in some black beans and started assembling my burrito. Tortilla, guacamole, lettuce, red onion, tomato, cheese, meat, and sour crema. Shout out to Walt Disney World for teaching me how to roll these fat burritos. The cross-section on these were gorgeous. After we ate lunch, Captain Mark came into my galley and fixed my sink. WD-40 can fix anything. Bye, little chef. Day 8 as a chef on a yacht. Guests just got on board, so I made them a cappuccino and served up lunch. Kale salad, coconut rice, potato leek soup, and ceviche. For cocktail hour, I'm cutting up some cucumber, topping it with cream cheese and smoked salmon. While the guests are enjoying their hors d'oeuvres, I'll start dinner prep. Heavily salt my scallops to draw out the moisture so we can get a good hard sear on them. The crew will change into our evening uniform and I'll start cooking pasta. One of the guests is low carb, so I'll serve them miracle noodles. Pat my scallops dry and sear them off. We got a nice brown crust on them, so I'm happy. Yesterday, I prepped a kale pesto, so that's what I'm tossing the pasta with. For plating, I'll put down my pasta, then my scallops, and garnish with the 3 peas, pine nuts, parmesan, and parsley. For this dish, I plated up regular pasta, and for the next dish, I plated up my miracle noodles, which comes from like a root vegetable. It's honestly not bad. And for dessert, I served up the pear cobbler with the white chocolate protein ice cream. Cleaned up my galley and headed to bed. Bye, little chef. We had a horrible storm last night, so let's go check out the damage. The first thing I noticed, it's super murky, so everything got stirred up. There were like 50 to 60 knot winds. It started with like thunder and lightning and rain around 2 o'clock, and I woke up, and then I got back to bed, and then around 4:30ish, that's when the winds came in, and it got real. Okay, so we lost a tarp here. A boat over on that side of the marina flipped its tender. This boat took a big damage, actually. Okay, so you see that gangway at the end of the dock here? Okay, so the boat came off the dock. The gangway slipped off into the water. Then the boat came back towards the gangway and literally folded it up like a pretzel. So now they're without a gangway. Our boat, thankfully, took no damage. Way to go, team. So thankfully, we're safe. We made it through the night. And I think we're trying to get underway today. We'll see though. The winds are off and on. I'm a chef on a yacht, and we just had a horrible storm last night. The owner is flying in today. He just got in. He tried to get a cab from the airport, and there are broken down cars, flooded streets, cars underwater. He got a taxi, but I guess had to transfer to his school bus to get through the roads. So we're gonna go find him. We saw a school bus. I can't believe this. This is hilarious. Picking him up from school. So the boys have an umbrella and they're gonna go pick the owner up from school. There they are. It's a freaking school bus. You're joking. Okay, he brought a buddy with him. So him and his buddy are the only ones on a full school bus right now. This is hilarious. All right, let's go make some lunch. It is always an adventure. Did you hear? What? He said it blew. I'm not going in there.
Want to see a little component?
Yeah.
Come on.
Am I gonna get electrocuted?
Maybe. Changing some fuses.
I heard that 2 already blew.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Mark was sitting over there and the compressor came on real loud and
As I'm messing with a fuse. Not much fun. Yeah.
All right, Brian.
Try not to get
Electrocuted.
Do you have to be worried about like different colors or anything weird like that?
Well, it won't fit into here.
Okay, that looks promising.
Don't turn these on, because it's starting to smoke. And we cannot put them in now, because Mark and Gina are down there. We don't want to electrocute them.
Very smart, very smart. Okay.
Hello, chef.
Fuse just blew. Again, we lost all of our fuses. We just got 4 in and just flew.
Hi, little chef. Tonight for dinner, we're making seared scallops. All of my proteins on board are frozen, and I find it a little tricky to work with frozen scallops. Typically, they're waterlogged and you can't get a good sear on them. But my tip to you is to salt them very heavily. The salt is going to start pulling out that moisture. Then you'll just grab some paper towels and pat it dry. To sear them, you're going to get a pan ripping hot and throw in some butter. I place my scallops in a systematic way so I know which one I need to turn first. They take about a minute on each side. When you flip them, it should be a golden brown color and a little crispy. If your pan's starting to look dry, go ahead and add another knob of butter. I had a ton of kale on hand, so I decided to make a kale pesto. Lots of fresh kale, olive oil, parmesan, pine nuts, and fresh herbs. Now look at that nice hard sear on the scallops. Remember, just a minute on each side. If you overcook it, it's going to be super rubbery. Bye, little chef.